switch things over. But let's jump in. Once again, Desktop Explorer, Interface, Mystery, Adventure. Oh, shit. Selected language, that is extremely okay. If I suddenly start speaking French or Spanish, then I need to reset my brain. My brain needs to Control-Alt-Delete then. So it's got a very much retro Windows 98, Windows 95 kind of vibe to it. As a 37-year-old, a 37 years young individual, as a young Alex, I tend to gravitate towards the retro stuff. I love me a good, reminding me of the good old days kind of aesthetic. So I do love this. Select your username. I'm either Halibut, Maximus, or Admin. Password. Well, clearly it's password. Damn. Password with a capital P. Password 1. Well, I'm out of ideas. Let's just go back then to the first one. I guess that's the equivalent of, like, guest. Mouse keyboard. Buy speakers. Connect to internet. Ethernet port is broke. Check Chronolog software. So we did all those things. Chronolog software. Check the start menu. Okay. What else we got? Open me. Password. Okay. Wastebin. Anything there? Nope. Web surfer 2. Okay. Documents. Okay, and then downloads. Right, so nothing in the downloads. That one's done. Family photos. I know they said do the thing in the start menu, but I like to explore around first. I like to do all the wrong things first before I do the right thing. I like that breadth first approach. So there we go. There we go. Our guy's screen name is Halibut, so it makes sense we're all about fishing. I don't know enough about fishes to know if that is indeed a halibut. All I know is that halibuts are delicious. It's probably my favorite whitefish. Angler trio. So our couple homies and our kiddos, which is cute. Fishy. Don't forget .img. Maybe that's our lady. Maybe that's our lady friend. Very nice. Family photos. This one though, storyteller. Can I make the thing big? Yes. Yeah, there's no maximize. Order now. FAQ. Tell the stories you want, however you want. Web surfer seal of approval. Okay. Storyteller Plus. Okay, so it's software. Listings, mailing list. No internet though. Can I type nothing? Okay, so I can't go to any web pages. It begs the question, how does this come up at all then? How does the first page even arrive? Yes, and no internet. Well, sure enough then. Programs. What'd they call it? It was called Chronolog. There it is. Welcome to Chronolog, alright. Weird how it just kind of gravitates towards the middle of the window. Alright. Brightest Lass on the Seven Seas. Poetry? A little unexpected. Halibut's Journal. Lucid Periods, okay. Well, no, not poetry, just a very, very intimate note to leave. So I leave this information along with my computer, so maybe this person is not cognizant enough. Talking about having lucid periods, and I'm having memories I'm now forgetting. So there are other users, the previous users, right? There's the Desktop Explorer, the titular Desktop Explorer. So the Open Me password for it is your nickname. Could that be Halibut? Or something else? I guess it depends on who is you that he's referring to. Related to the disappearance of someone I cared about. Maybe the lady? Find my most intimate thoughts. Okay. And we end the letter with a poem. If we're apart, look at the moon, for I will do too. Guppy. If I'm gone, look at the stars, for I am with you. Goodbye, Guppy, your uncle. So there we go. Reads contents, happy journaling. Guppy's detective log. Today was... Okay, so we're the uncle? Yeah, we were the uncle. Or I guess the user was the uncle, and Guppy is, I guess, us, the user. So we're their niece or nephew. And this is his old computer. So we're writing this note. Gotcha. What's up, Aleph? Yeah, dude, it's good. No, I'm glad you're excited for it, because it's a very cool game. It's not for everyone. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea necessarily. But if you like the Dark Souls aesthetic, and some of that kind of gameplay battle rhythm, and you like roguelikes, Curse Mark is a fucking banger. I really like that game. I know some of the reviews are a little bit mixed, but I really enjoyed what I saw of it. I only played it the one time on stream, but extremely cool and very, very satisfying. And I like that it's not a procedurally generated world. I like that there are bespoke secrets and hidden things throughout that have hints you can unlock. It's just a great system overall. So no internet connection because the Ethernet port is busted. I suspect we'll probably get the internet eventually. Wait, what'd you say? Or what this person say? It's start of a detective mission. I mean, kinda. Install Desktop Explorer and see what this is about. Uncle Hal is the only one to call me by that name, right? So Captain Halibut. So Guppy is the nickname. So open me, probably the capital G. There we go. DE installer. All right, Desktop Explorer. That's the name of the game. There we go. Setting up file hierarchy. That's right. Pizarro, or maybe it's Pizzaro, because he's delicious. Installing Desktop Explorer. So he's like Clippy. You remember me? Your old friend Pizarro. Probably like Bizarro, but P. Remember the pronunciation. Probably your first time in a while, he says. Best experience when understanding the user's needs. You're an average user, nothing wrong with that. I am pretty average, alright. Puzzles around basic computer usage. Simple stuff. They'll look like this. Find the password and unlock the next puzzle folder. It's like I'm an elite hacker. Won't always be this easy, though. Submenus are your friends. Check that shit out. Those tools could come in handy. You never know. Looking for hidden files. Who knows what you might find? They'll test your metal. That's right. The world is your oyster and also your desktop. Oh, that's a little bit unnerving. I was gonna say this is a little bit fucky. I like the little glitchy, kind of glitchy aesthetic. Daring explorer entered a realm of computers and puzzles. Yeah, the eyes, the impressive sights, the fantasy land. Alright, so just take your time and good luck. Read me. A password is given to you through text. It'll be presented in the following format. They won't always be hidden within text, though. Deduce some of them on your own. So we got some puzzle solving in our future. Discover the mysteries of the cave. Answer the riddles. Become a desktop explorer. So let's take a look. If you ever need a system tip, click on the little light bulb fella. Do my best to help you out. So we need a password for this guy. You got it. So while we're doing all this, we know that the downloads folder is empty and the documents folder just has... Oh, I guess I didn't check all the things. I checked family photos. We got for scans. CFB adoption form. Children of family... Yeah, so I'm not expected to read all this necessarily, but some kind of adoption form. If this is the uncle's computer and personal files, that kind of thing, that means he was maybe interested in adopting somebody, or maybe he was adopted. I guess it could be for us, the nephew slash niece. Lone Oak Junior High. 2012. 2012, and yet it's got this old-ass Windows 95 aesthetic. I guess like the uncle that never upgraded his computer. You know, it's relevant. Medical scans. Prescription. Yeah, so yeah, it's too low-res to really read anything, which is fine. It's the idea that it's here. Oh, okay, this is definitely for the uncle. He was saying how he was having lucid memories, but he was definitely disassociating. So this is this personal information, okay. Good to know. Notes. Got a whole bunch. Expando. Groceries. Eggs, popcorn, some of my favorite. Bananas, onions, oatmeal. Yep. Records. Oh, like fishing records, right. That's kind of cool. Catfish, walleye, trout, delicious. I made my bed, ate breakfast, brushed my teeth at night. Responsible. I see, yes, he's got a list for each one. Yep. And he's been very, very dutiful. Ooh. I brushed my teeth. I brushed my tears. So now, yeah, you get like, as things go on, things start to degrade. Oh, yeah, yeah, there it is. I made my, yeah, so like you get more misspellings and grammatical errors. Breakfast, I made my bed, yeah. So to kind of show, bought a notebook, used notebook. Yeah, so you're starting to see as time went on, became a lot less regular. I'm curious, can you right click? Properties. So I was gonna say, can I look at the date? Yeah, April 16th. So the first, just to kind of see, from like a storytelling perspective. So October 10th, 1998. Come forward a little bit. Oh, wow, it's just a matter of a couple days. 13th, 14th, 15th. So he began to deteriorate very quickly. If this is any indication. So if the dates become important at all, just note that, yeah, around October 12th, 11th, 12th, 13th, that's where things start to get hazy for this poor guy. Man, that's some scary shit. Properties you can rename, you can compress if need be. I'm not going to delete anything, obviously, and if you did delete, you can probably just go into the waste bin and retrieve them. All right, so that's good to know. Leave that for now. Anything else under those guys? Desktop Explorer is what we're doing right now. Nothing else in the chronologue, right? Yeah, there's missing entries to find. Can I actually make a new entry? No, cannot right now. A convenient registry error. And registry errors are rarely anything. They're usually anything but convenient. What's Storyteller Plus? So I guess we already have it installed then. So view source code to start writing your story. So view source code. Navigate to view source code, start writing your story. Can you like start just typing? Oh, you really can. Wow, okay. I'm not gonna mess with it right now. They say source code, it looks more like just regular text, although it might be like more akin to HTML or something, especially with those kind of tags. That's kind of an HTML adjacent kind of syntax. About stories were told, then written, then filmed. Now we use Storyteller Plus. And zoom out, that's kind of cool. Okay. So I'm not going to mess with it right now, but good to know. Anything else? Note page. That's just Notepad, right? And then Sketchy. Woo, woo, woo. MS Paint, baby. That's right. I know all about MS Paint time. That's cool. I'm glad we got an MS Paint inside this guy. That makes me happy. Settings. Shells. Fishies. Apply. I got the achievement for change your wallpaper for the first time. Fisherman desk. It's a little bit like, you know, a little bit. I'm not sure if surreal or if uncanny is the right word, but we'll do the fishies for now. Actually, I'm kind of curious. Can I raise the resolution up? Or I guess I can probably lower it if you wanted to. Yeah, we'll do widescreen. Have it be proper. Screensaver. Ooh, I love it. So next OS. Yeah, as the operating system, yep. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Ooh, cool. And then aquarium. Yeah, I love it. I love it, dude. Dude, this really is a throwback to a simpler time. Speaking as a proud graybeard, I remember the good old days of like Windows 95, Windows 98. It was a simpler time, and you know, that was before I knew how computers work. Now that I've got a computer science degree, it's like, you know, some of the mysticism has been removed. But back in the day, it was like, oh, what is this all? What do these things do? How do you use these things? It's so mysterious and interesting. And now I'm old and jaded, and I know all these things. But back in the day, it was exciting, and the future was bright and optimistic. And now that we're in the hellscape that is 2026 and modern political bullshittery, the optimism has waned a little bit. Yeah, when I inevitably need to take a bathroom break, we're gonna pop this up as something to keep the screen busy while I'm taking a BRB. So this makes me happy to see. Yeah, wait time 10 seconds. We'll do 1 minute. We'll do 1 minute. That way it'll pop up every once in a while. Okay, well, now that I've dilly-dallied and I've kind of fucked around with various things. Actually, hold on, what's next sum? Oh, it's just calculator, cool. 80085. Hilarious. Hilarious. All right, so what do we have for hints here? We have your hand holding a compass. Okay. Cave's mouth. Okay. Lost on the shore. We were lost. I'm imagining reading this in the voice of, what was that called? Inspirobot? Inspirobot. The mindfulness mode. Between the sea and the lush forest, dragging your feet in the sand of a beach you've never seen before. Small compass. Been damaged in a fall. On the shore's dark rocks, you spot what looks to be the entrance of a cave. There's a narrow entrance. Letters in the sand. Before taking shelter, you read some of it. You assume it's the cave's name, Fortuna. Well, it'd be awfully convenient if that was the password. There it is. Puzzle number 1, completo. They're starting off nice and easy for us, but it won't always be so easy. Fortuna. I think that was one of the name of the planets in Star Fox 64. As you glance up inside your new shelter, you notice a few cracks between the boulder on top. The boulders. Lack of natural light in here, despite not being able to see much in the cave's darkness, you stumble upon a stick next to a rolled-up scroll. The scroll is comically long. You can look at the source code. Not really source code when it's just all text, but you know what they mean. Like, I'm trying to, like, can I... Actually, you know what? There's probably an easier way to do this. So it's like there's no horizontal scroll wheel, so it's gotta do some line breaks. Okay. Comically long. Nothing else there. What was it? Inside of cave. So a long scroll boy. Torch. So what is on the scroll? Chant my name, O child, and your voice will bear my fire. It's a long scroll, alright. I love the ASCII scroll. When dusk surrounds me, and Anna lights my path. I'm gonna guess that is the password. Ba-ba-bum! And the torch is lit. Light the beacons! So with the torch lit, let's leave this open. We could probably grab one if we want it. So the lighted path. After barely pronouncing the name you read, the tip of the stick you were holding kindled into a soft flame. Just the tip. Just the tip. A torch of suspicious origin. With a newly lit path, you press on to a room with a wide strip of papyrus on the floor. There's strokes and writing scattered. Suspicious-looking creases. You answer quickly and answer proud. Oh, solve my riddle and say it loud. I garden the flowers with my hose. Would you know it, I use my nose. The rest is lost within the paper's folded format. I love the text undulations. I'm gonna, by the way, apologies. Inevitably, I will forget that my face, if you're watching on desktop, that my face is covering the side. If you're watching on mobile, it's probably not too bad, but I know that on the left-hand side, there's stuff that gets cut off. So I'll try to keep things centered on a somewhat regular basis, because, you know, I know to make this nice and interactive, you guys probably want to see what's going on, too. But anyway, so the folded paper format. Answer lies in this ancient paper. Depending on your perspective, they say you can resize the window to your mind. Woo! Alright, so I'm gonna check that one in a moment, but what's this? Oh, a new entry. Notice that I keep writing depressive thoughts. I'll write about one of my favorite memories. Birth of the short-lived Angler Trio, one of which we have a picture of, I think. Family photos. Angler Trio, there it is. So, yes, the birth of the short-lived Angler Trio. Little Guppy's first fishing trips, that's us. The protagonist, that is. Blessed us with endless catches. Now, I wonder, we know that there's a woman that we are to never forget. But there's a second person. Unless, you know, unless that's us grown, maybe. Unless maybe we're a lady. But it begs the question, who's this person? Filled the boat so fast that old Walleye started singing again. Maybe that's this person? So it's with Pap and baby formula. Oh, it's his brother. Okay. My memory might falter sometimes, but I won't forget you anytime soon, wait, since Guppy has your melancholic eyes. Can't think of us three without our code names, but I wouldn't have any other name. So that's not his, like, real name. That's his code name. So Walleye. Actually, Walleye was another user. There's another user we saw, I think. And of course, Gelpy is a fish. Yeah, I'm picking up what we're putting down here. As long as our young lass breathes, the angler trio lives on. It's nice. You wouldn't call it a nose. What would you call it? Nobody knows, but there lies the answer. There lies the answer. So they were talking about folding things and like resizing things. So can I make it wider still? Suspicious creases. So that's what I'm looking for. For any sort of indication of like a way to like resize or specifically fold things. A paper's folded format. Would that mean I need to compress it? Let's do this. Let's duplicate it and compress the original. Okay, I was gonna say that, so that's not it. Can I just delete? I have to that way. I'm trying to think of like how folding would work in this perspective. Yeah, resize the window, or resize the window to your mind. So answer quickly and answer proud. Solve my riddle, say it loud. I garden the flowers with my hose. Wouldn't you know it? I use my nose. But you wouldn't call it a nose. What would you call it? Nobody knows, but there lies the answer. Like, can I scroll down more? Can I make it big? Yeah, so going full screen doesn't really do anything there either. Unless they mean this one, resize this window, which I think I already did earlier. The paper's folded format. Maybe we need to go into the source code. So let's go into format. Oh, word wrap. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Elephants. That's the key. So the word wrap is the key. Because yeah, it was not lost to me the fact that there's like stuff. When you scroll to the right, there's definitely stuff. And I guess that's the thing. If you, I'm not going to save my change obviously, but if you hit enter, there's a whole lot more. Whoops, where that came from. With every line break. Yeah, so there's a whole lot there. So definitely don't save the changes. So yes, that's the key. It's under format, word wrap, that's the key. Gotta line it all up. So elephants is going to be the password, I suspect. All caps, I'm guessing. It's probably case sensitive. Elephantitis. That's incorrect. Oh, there's no T. Elephants. That's not correct either. Elephas. There's no N. Oh, interesting. Unexpected. I'm gonna close the torch, so we're probably good on there. Don't you just love the riddles? Detective memories. You fold the papyrus. The elephant's trunk points to a path in the distance. Was it always there? You make your way to the passageway. It's to a closed space. It seems to be a dead end. You recall words of advice from a detective show you watched as a kid. Read between the lines and find the source of truth. What am I supposed to do? Well, let's view the source. On your left, you notice that a wall is thinner than the others. The word salve is inscribed upon it. Salve, all caps. Boop. There we go. Ooh, we got a lot of options here. Left door, right door. Key.error. Gotta uncorrupt it. Can I view the source? Restore to original state. Is it that simple? It was that simple. All right. No, it is not that simple. I like that noise. Properties. -1 byte. it having this file into your computer frees up space somehow. All right, good to know. Wait, hold on. 2012. Hold on. When were the notes made? Was it also 2012? That was 98. So if this game takes place in 2012, and this was relatively recent. Interesting. Like the three paths. Amanda the Adventurer. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be some psychological horror moments, some spooky moments. So, you know, Amanda the Adventurer was all wrapped up around like a kid's television show, kind of like an edutainment show, whereas this is you're prowling through the notes and personal files of your uncle who you know at some point began to exhibit symptoms of maybe not dementia, but certainly they said amnesia, I think was one of the words. Was one of the terms. Dissociative amnesia. So maybe not quite like Alzheimer's or dementia, but yeah, some form of disassociation. Which is interesting. So let's see. Passing both your hands over this cave's wall. But that's the thing though, like to your point though, Farsight, just the cutesy aesthetic does betray maybe a seedy underbelly. A dark and questionable underbelly through all this. So we found a, let's see, what was it? We found like passing both your hands over this cave's wall. So a part of the wall is a little bit softer. You push it and it crumbles. So you encounter 3 doors. 2 of them lie beside you and the largest one in front of you. A yellow key, you try like using it, but the door won't budge. There's an engraving on the key, but it's very hard to read. How hard is it? I like need to click and drag something. It's very hard to read. Do the same thing. Check the source. You barely make out the words, an image is worth 1,000 words. An IMG is worth 1,000 words. Let's do this. Rename. Not make it an ERR file, but an IMG file. Hey! Every lock obeys. Now, I would have never in a million years guessed that word as a shortcut, as a password. However, what is left door and what is right door? So left door, may it? Okay. As you open it, you see just a wall with a rune inscription painted on it. Word and an alphabet you can read. Is this the name of the rune? Good to know. What about the right door? Reina. Okay, another rune. So, yep. Is this related to the other door? We'll leave this open for now. And use the password for this one. Portunus. Bling. Leave these open for a moment. I don't know if we need to call back to these at some point, but just leave it there for now. Use your, I saw that too, imagination. I like that. Alright, so... this wall is completely covered with the phrase, dare to say my name. Dare to say my name. You reshape the key and reveal its message. It's a massage. Turn the lock with it. A small chamber, like a closet, is behind the big central door. Dare to say my name. Speaking aloud holds some type of power. You must call their name, ... whatever it may be. Who wrote these words anyway? Anything in the source code? They didn't write their name on the wall, but still you feel as if you could figure out who the author behind these etchings is. The author, you say? So, what's this one? Another journal entry. Doctor suggested that I write about this line by line, so we'll give it a go. This is one entry after... oh no, this is actually before. This is before the previous one, so this is the last one. My big brother died. Oh, that's sad to hear. Walleye passed away. Says I couldn't help it at all. Trembled for hours that day. Big brother couldn't escape in time. Oh, I wonder if it was something. I mean, of course it was tragic, but I wonder if it was something catastrophic. Engulfed in flames? Oh, no. That thing did not look like my big brother, he says. Trying to recount step by step how my big brother looked like a ghoul in his last moments. I ruined my morning writing this, he says. So, there was a fire that killed his brother, but said he looked different. Maybe it was just, you know, the burn damage. But I can't forget my brother's withered face. Unsurprising that there's some trauma relegated here. Who was the author? The author was MMTT. Maybe that's a password. That was it. And close those. Got it. Puzzle 7. We're clicking right along here. I'm sure it's only a matter of time before we get held up by a tricky one. By a tricky fella. Overwhelming dark. With a fleeting face and a flat stone. Pass your hand through the wall. The thought of a name you can't pronounce zooms through your mind. Mamutete. Alright, as you open them again, in front of you, the darkest passage so far is revealed to you. The torch you carry is lost in the darkness. You begin to doubt yourself. Your vision becomes devoid of light. Calm surrounds you. Somehow you feel even more capable of everything, of revealing what's hidden in the dark. I'm gonna guess that means show hidden files. Hey, there we go. Several things. When they were talking about, like, a darkness that is so enveloping that you can't see anything in front of you. Now, this doesn't happen super often nowadays because I live in a big city. But back in the day, back when I used to live in, you know, in a more sparsely populated area, and even more so when I would visit my grandparents before my grandfather passed away. They lived in a very secluded part of southern Illinois that was very secluded. We're talking no internet, no TV signal, nothing. I mean, it was very much in the sticks. And yeah, there were times where, especially like once I got my driver's license and I was able to drive myself there to visit them, you know, if I was staying overnight, maybe it'd be a situation where I like left something in my car, and it'd be like, you know, maybe 8-9 p.m. It's very much black, you know, pitch black outside, and you step outside and you see just truly how dark it is, and you know you can kind of fumble your way through. This is before the age of cell phones, so, or well, maybe not before the age of cell phones, but not like, you know, flip phones didn't always have flashlights on them, obviously. So you know, you use what little light you could to fumble your way through. But I remember thinking, like, man, it's so dark, like holy shit, like it was, you know, when there's like no ambient light around you, what we call light pollution, where there's just like a bunch of, in the cities where there's, you know, there's lampposts, there's apartment buildings, there's businesses, there's stoplights, you know, there's just ambient light kind of everywhere. But when you're out in the sticks, when you're in the boonies, it's jarring just how dark it gets. So it's like, man, if there's something out there, oh shit, man, I'm a sitting duck. So anyway, just a kind of a callback to something I haven't experienced in a long time, obviously. Anyway, we now know what we need to seek to get the password. A fleeting face can be seen in the darkness. That's spooky. I know you see me. I know you see me. I know you saw me, rather. Interesting. Can I check the properties? Author Desktop Explorer. Interesting. Flat stone. Alright. What's the fleeting face? Tell me. You sense something behind you. Some kind of human figure. A withered face and a set of melancholic eyes. Could it be our other uncle, our older uncle? Stranger runs off, leaving the sound of pebbles tumbling to the ground. Can't really see anything else. Also, Desktop Explorer. I guess Desktop Explorer is the default, so the author is not necessarily like significant in that sense. Heightened senses. Improvement of your vision has reached its peak. The dark still hinders your sight, but you can still see a little bit better. Details in the walls beyond arm's reach. A boulder next to you with an engraved warning. A large boulder the size of a small boulder. Is it in here? It is not. It is a separate message. Reaching this point must have required courage, but going past it is foolishness. So saith Cassandra. And I guess that is probably the password. Right. I bet a speedrun of this game would go very hard, because if you just remember all the passwords, you can just go up and just power through them. Fishermen have great eyesight, I guess he says. Stalagmite formation. Maybe you have to rearrange the letters. You ignore Cassandra's warning. Heck you, Cassandra, I'm gonna do my own thing. We find a calm and serene lighted room with stalagmites. And it's called a stalagmite because they're on the ground and you might trip over them. If it's a stalactite because they cling tightly to the ceiling. That's the mnemonic device I use to remember which one is which, because it's easy to get it mixed up. So the might trip on a stalagmite that's on the ground, but a stalactite clings tightly to the ceiling. That's how you remember it. That's how you keep it fresh in your brain. You can see the way forward, but your intuition tells you that these stalagmites are worthy of attention. To continue on. Worthy of your attention. You can see carved symbols on some of the stalagmites. Indeed, I can. And I can't interact with the image just because it's an image. Not interactable. Stalagmite Sanctum. Can't make the image bigger at all. So I wonder, is it just a... Oh, I think you just... Yeah, I was gonna say, do I rearrange the letters? I don't think you do. I think you just read it left to right. Oh, is that it, I guess? I guess that was it. Oh, Soapy! Thank you, friend. Thank you, Soapy Shark, for that raid. That's super nice of you. We're playing a nice and weird and spooky game. Well, yeah, it's not that spooky yet, but it is mysterious. This is a mystery, point-and-click, adventure kind of game with some mild psychological horror mysteriousness going on. So it's pretty neat so far. I'm having a nice time. And not only that, but it's got this cool Windows 95, Windows 98 kind of vibe going on, which I love. As a proud graybeard, as a proud dude who's getting closer to his 40s than he wants to admit, I remember these days. I remember the good old days. I remember the retro kind of look and feel. Or I appreciate the retro look and feel that games like this kind of throw out. But the fact that there's also this kind of steeping sense of what's behind each corner and what dreadful thing awaits with each puzzle we solve. It's a cool vibe, and like I said, the Windows 95 kind of deal, nice and nostalgic. And if I leave the computer untouched for a moment, or just a moment, I'm waiting for it. But we might be rewarded with a fun little screensaver action. But so we thank you for that raid. Oh, there it is. Hey, we got it. I love it. I love the old school screensaver. Some of you youngsters might be like, what's Alex so excited about? What the hell? This is nothing. But if you're like me, you remember, or at least you've maybe read or seen about the old school computer days. Oh, is this guy just gonna be stuck in a loop? Typically, it's like it takes a left turn until it's exhausted all points, and then it starts taking right turns. So if it takes a right turn, then we're all good. Okay, he's just gonna be in a loop forever. So not a very exciting wallpaper, but there it is. That's pretty fun. Thank you, Soapy Shark, for that raid. Super nice of you. We got to play some Space Marine 2 with some friends earlier today, by the way, which was a very nice time, and now we're playing a nice, spooky, weirdo game. We have a little pizza friend, Pizarro, no, it's not pizza, but the name makes me think of pizza. We have a little notepad fellow who's helping us out. We're solving some puzzles, and we're trying to piece together the story of what has happened here. We are playing as a, this is a computer and account that belonged to an old fisherman who, as he got older, developed some form of amnesia. They called it dissociative amnesia disorder. So he would disassociate, begin to forget old memories, that kind of thing. And we're reading through his old notes, his old files, his old personal tidbits, and we're piecing together certain mysteries about what happened to him and also what happened to his past. And we're his nephew, or his niece at least. He's our uncle. They haven't specified, who we are exactly, but our nickname was Guppy. So, because he's a fisherman, he loves fish. His nickname is Halibut, and we're learning little tidbits about his older brother, Walleye. Again, nickname. Maybe call him Wally. And Walleye passed away some time ago, and that caused some awful trauma for our uncle in the story. We're kind of piecing together what happened and how he managed once this awful tragedy struck. And it's all nice and spooky. All nice and spooky. So we're like I said, we're kind of going through files and trying to find hints. I think this is going to be a password for something. But we indeed have reached a dead end for the time being. Soapy Shark, if there was any clips you want to share, you've rated me so many times. You probably know the spiel, but I'm always down if there's anything you want to share with us. Because you're a freaking homie and a half, and I really appreciate you. Playing some Slay the Spire, good freaking game, by the way. Good freaking game. Were you playing single player or multiplayer? Because I've only played the multiplayer, and I'm actually really weird. I've actually never played the first game. So I've only played Slay the Spire 2, and I've only played it in co-op, where my friends have carried the shit on me. It's a very, very cool game. Antivirus software. I know which one you're referring to. I've not played it, but I know you're referring to, and that one is also on my list. That one is also on my list. As long as you're having fun. As long as you're having fun. It's a good one. And I want to go back and play Slay the Spire 1, because I love Slay the Spire 2. And what I've seen of it. But yeah, I know Slay the Spire 1 is very much a good one. I seem to recall the first one had maybe like some kind of mod support that enabled multiplayer, but it was of course traditionally single player. But yeah, no, I really appreciate you, Soapy. Thank you again. If there's any clips you want to share with us, you know, I'm super down because I really appreciate you. Just do Slay the Spire 2 in single player. And maybe that's the thing too. Maybe it's not as really necessary. I mean, maybe it's one of those where, you know, it's kind of like playing Left 4 Dead 1 after playing Left 4 Dead 2, where it doesn't really like introduce a whole lot of new stuff necessarily. I mean, there's probably not much for story. I was more just thinking for just, you know, kind of getting my sea legs. But you're right, it's probably not quite as huge of a thing, especially given that it seems like it's most of the same cast of characters. I'm sure there are some subtle nuances and differences, but the fact that it's about the same classes, with some, you know, new stuff tossed in is kind of nice, honestly. I know a bunch of our friends, if like, you know, if some of our mutual streamer buddies, they've been playing a lot of Rift Wizard 3, because Rift Wizard 2 was a huge one for some of our streamer buddies, and now the Rift Wizard 3 is out in early access. A lot of homies have jumped into that one, and that's been the new hotness as of late. Yeah, Left 4 Dead 2 added a bunch of stuff, and like, I think eventually you could even go back and play the Left 4 Dead 1 missions in Left 4 Dead 2, so it's almost like, you know, not really worth messing around with Left 4 Dead 1 once you have 2 and have all the stuff that kind of got carried over from there. So yes, I'm with you, Meerkat. But thank you again, Soapy. Yeah, like I said, any clips you want to share, any thing you wanted to plug, if there's any fun streams you have coming up, any fun videos you're working on, I'm down for any of it. Just know I appreciate that raid, and that's super nice. And clearly I'm talking too much because the screensaver comes up. It makes me sad that he's just going in a loop. I was hoping he would explore the other directions, but unless there was a way to configure the screensaver, like if there's a way to, like, you know, make changes, what I might even do then is say, give me that aquarium. Give me that aquarium, because this guy, he's a fisherman, so appropriate that he would like the fishies. Well, let's see what the dead end says. So what we were previously doing is we were following puzzles, and each puzzle solution would open up a new puzzle opportunity. But now we've reached a alleged dead end. So let's see what this says. An uneventful dead end. There's probably something more than meets the eye, though. Spend the following hour inspecting every crevasse. There's no path forward. While scratching your head, pondering on what to do next, you hear a loud thunk. A loud thunk far off behind in the cave. So, oh, we already read that one. So can I just go up one level? Yes. Yes, I can. So in that case, if I close all these, it's just something new. It's the thing you continue on. Nothing jumps out, obviously. Let's do this. Hidden files? Nothing new there. What about here? Any hidden files here? No hidden files. So we have to indeed sniff around a little bit and see what else could possibly be like lurking in the distance here. It specifically said a loud thunk far off behind in the cave. The idea that we have to go up some steps, and maybe even more than one category. So this is not new. Even though it looks awfully weird and spooky, that's not new. That's the thing, that we saw a couple of flat stones. And a couple of kind of odds and ends that didn't have any other indication. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna open up some images, because we haven't had any like use of these things yet. So I'm gonna open these images that haven't had any indication, any like interactions just yet. Hear the music getting kind of weird and fucky? Well, here we go. Some new things indeed. What happened to this puzzle? There's new things here. There we go. So that's the key. That is indeed the key. Oh, Monster Prom! Yeah. Spicy and chaotic. An incredible combination. I never played Monster Prom, but I've watched other people stream it. They look just the correct amount of horny. Monster Prom is like just the right level of horned. Just the right level of horny. So yeah, that's a solid choice. That's like a fun and solid choice. If you're curious about games that are like, they got just a little bit of juice, just a little bit of spice, there's a game called Date Everything that is incredible and is so goofy and so I don't know if self-aware is the right word, but it's very campy. It leans into the humor very well, and same kind of thing. There's just the right dash of horny sprinkled on top. It's very fun. It's called Date Everything, and it's a very funny time. The number of times I laughed out loud while playing it. And I haven't even beaten the thing, but it's incredible. There is so many waifus and husbandos in the game. It is incredible. Just incredible times. No escape. Well, that is ominous, to say the least. Stuck. When you retrace your steps, you doubt your sense of direction. So, we try to find the scroll from the beginning, and you hear a storm outside. Okay. But the landscape has changed since we first entered the cave. The only exit from this cavern to the shore has been replaced by walls and stalagmites. It's like Spelunky. The walls are shifting. But there's a chisel, though. You could use it to carve some symbols onto a new landscape. Okay. Still have the torch, which is nice. Huh. Never noticed that on our hands before. Interesting. So a chisel, you say? Let's do this. Source code. Anything new? You're sensitive. There's something hidden in here. You've seen the stalactites before. Stalagmites, rather. Stalagmites before. Hidden files. There we go. Puzzle 9. So, the question is, what is the password? I'm gonna guess it's these stalagmites right here. So I'm guessing this is the password. So what the syntax for the passwords typically follows curly brackets. So whatever's inside the curly brackets is traditionally indicative of a password. Not always, but frequently. So here we probably just read from left to right. So it's going to be RUBICON. Rubicon. There we go. So close these guys. And I'll leave all the other flat stones open because we might have to combine them in some way. He says things are getting weird. Why don't you stop here for today? Pizarro, we got business to attend to. There are mysteries to solve and unsolved puzzles afoot. Flat stone with a weird like the image is kind of sort of animated. There's like a fuzziness to it. There's a mural. Oh, that's cool. We were in when we went to Chicago this past week. We got to see a lot of cool exhibits in the Field Museum, one of which was a whole bunch of Egyptian stuff, so seeing a bunch of Egyptian hieroglyphics and that kind of thing is very much fresh on my mind. New journal entry, by the way, from our Uncle Halibut, Uncle Hal. I remembered something delightful, he says. This is a more recent entry. Smell of cake in the oven, my nostrils tickled, he says. Couldn't shake the image of her, smiling at me. Think of her not only as the model of the perfect mother, but also as the ideal wife. So I guess it was his wife then. I wonder then if that is this person. Don't forget. I wonder if this is his wife right here. I know I've dreamed of having a family as long as I can remember, but I can't help but feeling nauseous knowing I took over another man's household. Now, I wonder if this means when his brother died, maybe he married his widow. Maybe that's the implication. Took over another man's household. It's not my fault that a woman and a child need the presence of a father. I only wish to help. Oh, yeah, so maybe Guppy, or the protagonist, maybe we're the daughter or brother, or daughter or son of not Hal, but of Wally. Yeah. Just their absent old man. I'm rambling. My sweet memories tarnished by by sour shame. What would my brother think of me? Right, so the implication then is his brother passed, and I don't know if that means he married her widow, but or married his widow rather, but at least became involved. At least became involved in some way. Interesting. Let's check out the altar. Okay. Small earthquake takes over the lake, or take over the cave, they say, with the walls shaking. Landscape revealed is a long hall-like chamber. So it's like an auditorium or an altar. Its features seem designed by humans, yet shaped by regular erosion. Some eternal darkness shit right there. Empty stretch of space surrounded by unordered piles of stones. Engraved on the ground, you read the following passage. The path towards truth is unknown, and nature will lead me through stacking stones. There's something missing. There's a detailed mural in the back of the room. Can't shake the feeling that it's hiding a different story. Anything in the source? Take this advice literally. You've been finding strange flat stones around the cave. I sure have, and I've got several open right now. So it depicts a fishing scene. All right, so let's do this. Let's do this. Go back a ways. I actually just noticed this earlier, that this glyph matches this one right here. So that's going to be important. There was also... Oops. Not that one, and not that one, and not that one. I mean, those might come in handy as well. But I think it was... Not the key. Was it the etched wall? Wasn't that one? Already have that flat stone open. Was it the stalagmite? No. This one. No, it's not that one. Shit. It was the... What was it? It was like the weird, fucked up, spooky wall. Was the etched wall? No, it was something else. I want to say it was an image. Wasn't this one, though. Wasn't that one, because that one's empty. Segment formation. At end. Wasn't the key? Was it the... Oh, was it one of these? Right door. Wasn't the torch? Was it one of the earlier ones? Cave's mouth. Yeah, that's it. What am I missing? What am I forgetting? The no escape? Oh, it's the no escape one. There we go. So it is further up. So let's look back then at the mural. So we have representations for this glyph and this glyph. Now, where's this last one, though? Let's kind of peruse some of the images. And in fact, what I might just do is just open even like some of the older images, because I don't think this was on the hand when we first opened the torch. The torch image, that is. We don't need two of the no escapes. In fact, yeah, let's make sure we have no doubles. M, S, and L. It's like a small, medium, large. That will probably come in handy at some point. That will probably be very relevant eventually. So the your hand has nothing new. Cave's mouth. I'm looking to see if there's any glyphs. I figure it'll probably be pretty obvious. Should stick out reasonably well. Don't need two torches. We already have Flatstone Large. We already have Mural open. This is the Beyond. This name is what we're looking for. So the Lighted Path. Right Strip. Detective Memories. So the key. We'll leave the key open for a little bit here as I explore around. Leave those open too. Etched wall. Oh, I have too many windows open. Okay, so in that case... Actually, do I already have etched wall open? No, I don't. So let's close the let's close these. Like, it's funny how there's limited number of windows, but it kind of makes sense. Otherwise, the taskbar gets kind of cramped. Already have Flatstone S, small. Oh, there we go. Now I see it. So now we have the third glyph represented. Now the question is, what do we do with these things? Done with the stalactite formation. Let's back up. Back that ass up. And take a look once more. Should be under... Oh, wait, no, not this one, not this one. There we go. So it's this one. Check the altar. So unordered piles of stones. We found these 3 flat stones and these 3 glyphs that are represented in the mural. This one right here. And the implication then is that the stones are involved, but certainly these glyphs and their images are also involved in the password. Nature will lead me through stacking stones. Unordered piles of stones. Listen, my first thought is that it would be less about the stones and more about these glyphs and their images. So the torch, the the dead end wall, and then the spooky lad who escaped. But maybe let's go back. Actually, let's go back because it could instead be like the same chapters or puzzles where these things were found. So the mural itself does have a flat stone large. And if I go back, say the torch does not have a stone associated with it. Oh wait, no, the torch. Oh, but never mind. The torch has. Oh, the torch has 2 of these. I just noticed. Yeah, it has. Rather, the puzzle 1 folder. Puzzle 1 folder has the torch and the no escape image. And then puzzle 2. Oh wait. Oh no, no. I'm sorry. It's puzzle 6. Has the spooky boy. So let's do this. What if it's just small, medium, large? What if that's all it is? There's no way to like interact with this at all or like view properties or anything, but I say flat stone small, I say look at properties. I'm looking for any sort of like combination. You have to stack them. I wonder if that really means literally like drag the files around. I click and drag to like another folder. Now you can't move them. You can't copy and paste. Stacking the stones. So one is a, let's look at the stones themselves. Small, medium, large. Leaf, branch, and tree. Makes sense. There's no obvious indication I can find for how that would map to the mural necessarily. And again, what we're looking for ultimately is just a password. Password for the beyond. The altar still up? Empty stretch of space surrounded by unordered stones. Nature will lead me through stacking stones. There's a detailed mural. It's hiding a different story. So just so I'm clear, did I already do this? Yeah, I already checked for hidden images. Oh, right, I was supposed to source. Should you take this advice, literally, you've been finding strange flat stones around the cave. Path towards the truth is unknown. Stacking images. I can't just like put the small one in here. I can't just like click and drag or anything. Nah, right click does nothing. Muy misterioso. Documents. New window. Yeah, no interactions there. I could ask for a hint from the little fella if nothing else. Mural is involved. 3 glyphs are involved. But also the 3 stones are involved. But how do you arrange these? Or how do you stack them? They, like the hint kind of suggests. Nothing jumps out to me in the properties necessarily. We're showing hidden files already, so we're good there. I check the properties for this guy. Nah, nothing jumps out there either. Just so I'm clear, yeah, there's nothing new that I'm missing otherwise. Yeah, that's all the same. Ooh, interesting farsa. Yeah, let's check that out in a moment here. I'm gonna try a couple more things, then I might take a moment. Oh no, there's actually new stuff here. River's End. It's kind of funny you can pause the music if you don't want the music anymore. Talk to me. Bizarro was the name of a famous explorer. Cool. No internet. You can change the date. Date and time if you're so inclined. That's kind of cool. Okay. Now, it's not lost to me this guy's face is obscured. I don't know if that's significant at all. The thing that keeps coming to mind is I wish I can move the files around. I think it works that way. You can double click, of course, to open. Oh, wait. You can. Hold on. Person to edit files. Right, you can delete. What's this one? Compression. Yeah, compress makes sense that that wouldn't be a thing. Yeah, I guess that's for all these things. Name to copy, so it's just the same deals there. I mean, I guess if you send them all to the recycle bin, I guess that's a way to stack them. I guess I could try that. If I'm to try that, we're gonna make copies and well, actually. There's a restore option, so we don't have to do restores then. Let's click the recycling bin. Oh shit, I mean to restore. I meant to kill. Delete those. There's no group delete button there. Delete file. Cannot delete. Delete. Permanently, yes. And delete that one. Permanently. There we go. So, let's do that, and we'll do it in order. So we'll delete that one too. That was just a copy I made temporarily just to try something earlier. Just flat some small. So I'm going to make a quick copy and send the original. Oh, you can't delete them. Damn. Okay. You can delete the copies though. Maybe that's enough. I can get all these in a single place. Somewhere, even if it's just a temporary deal. Makes sense. It wouldn't let you delete a like a mission specific or a puzzle specific file. Duplicate it and delete it. So with these three things in a single place, even if it's the recycle bin, does this provide anything? And nothing jumps at me. I don't think that's it either. So you can do a group restore, but you can't do a group delete. You have to delete individually to like really make sure that you know what you're doing, I guess. Have the toolbar if you're so inclined. Nothing jumps out. So I don't think that's a key either. I guess I'll close it for now. Let's get back to it, friends, and see if we can solve this mystery. See if we can solve this mystery, because it's right now. There's this notion that there are two things we're being led towards. The message on the altar says we need to stack. We need to order or like stack piles of stones in some way, and we have these images of stones we found on this computer. Nature will lead me through stacking stones. Is something missing here? And maybe also. Let's think about it as well. And the path towards truth is known. Nature will lead me through stacking stones. So one of two things comes to mind. There are three puzzles, I'll say it this way: there are three folders. There are three folders where these flat stone images can be found. Maybe it's less about arranging the files in a certain way, and more about acknowledging the puzzles they came from. In either a small to large order. So it's S and M and then L. So small, medium, large. And you can see it in the images themselves. Small is a leaf, medium is a branch, large is a tree. And the stones themselves are small, medium, and large. You can see this one's the biggest, that's the smallest, etc., etc. And if you're stacking the stones, Well, the biggest one is going to be on the bottom. So instead of going small, medium, large, maybe it should be large, medium, small. So let's try it a couple ways. So Puzzle 9's folder is called Altar. And that has the large stone. Let's remember that. Puzzle 9 is Altar. So if I go back up. So puzzle 1. I think actually puzzle 2. No, not puzzle 2. There we go. So puzzle 6, lights out, has the small one. And then puzzle 8, all the dark, has the medium one. That on its own doesn't really tell me a whole lot. Follow in the dark, lights out, then altar. Or, I guess, lights out, follow in the dark, and then altar would be the small, medium, large. Doesn't really do it for us necessarily. When it comes to the images associated with the stuff in the mural, which is to say, no escape, I know you saw me, and torch, those glyphs are represented here. Just to keep things moving, I think I actually might take the tip. Okay, so that's more of a general tip. 10 windows at a time. Okay, anything else? Okay, I thought that maybe he like gave a tip out the hint. Maybe it's for the best, actually. So the torch one being on our hand, there's the torch, and then the no escape, and then the I know you saw me. The thing is, the altar text specifically calls out the piles of stones, and the source text says maybe stacking the stones should be taken literally. These strange flat stones around the cave. And the detailed mural has a different story. And maybe that's just it too. Maybe it's just a storytelling thing. Maybe this is more just flavor text. Maybe it's not as pivotal right now. Maybe I should focus on the stones. So I'm going to hang on to this for now, but maybe the stones are the bigger focus here. Stacking the stones. Question is, how do you stack them in this sense? That's the question. Yo, what's up, Devis? Fellow adventurer, what's up, buddy? Oh, yeah, fellow file explorer. Or desktop explorer, rather. Thank you for joining in, bud. Here, I'm playing this for the first time. You probably guessed it's my first time. Yeah, you got to stack the stones. So that's what we're trying to figure out right now. So we're trying to figure out is how one stacks the stones. My first thought was like clicking and dragging the stone, like the files around. And I don't think that's the key. Got to put them on top of another. Well, let's try the actual images themselves, or the windows rather themselves. Let's minimize everything else. Maybe something will reveal itself. Maybe something will reveal itself. So if I put that there and then put that one there. Oh, you're right, Devis. You're right. You physically move the windows. I thought it was the files you had to mess around with, but it's the windows. There we go. New file added colorlens.exe. Now that was unexpected, but that was the little nudge we needed. I was thinking it was the mural. I thought the mural had some kind of interaction here, but that was the key. That got us to puzzle the innards of puzzle 9. So they revealed a quartz, some quartz shards, and there they are. Hold a piece next to your eyes and notice the most interesting qualities. Changes colors like a prism. Interesting. The mural in the back of the room looks clearer. Oh, interesting. Okay, so if I bring this up and bring this up in front of it, or maybe vice versa. Just like any sort of interaction there. Let's see what else we got. Oh, color. Oh, we have to use this thing. We got the color lens. Right. So there's the same mural. I'll close the old one. Not that it really matters. Oh, no, it's the same folder. Oh, I see. Okay, so that didn't give us the password necessarily. Right, so let's bust out the color lens. We get to install it. We get to install the color lens. Right. Let's get the thing rolling. Or rather, installed. Ooh, here we go. Color me impressed, he says. Thanks to follow, Devils. Appreciate that, bud. Appreciate you. Not can open it anytime. Do the start menu. There it is. There it is. Now my face kind of covers some of it, but it's there. So, out of curiosity, anything on here? No, but ooh, the different filters. Okay. Ah, ooh, there we go. Like it. I wonder if that's depicting the older brother. That he died in a fire, I think. Blue. Yeah. And that one lights up specifically. So that's probably Howl. That's probably Guppy. Yes. Alligator. He's got like a hat or something? Yeah, what's he got on his head there? Then yellow. Oh my gosh, biblically accurate dead brother. Dead older brother. And it's not lost to me that there are color associations with each character. Hers is yellow. The uncle, presumably, is blue. And the big guy is the red one. And that begs the question, if I bust out the torch. His hand guides. Hand guides us. What about the blue one? Would be... where is it? No escape. No escape. No escape, no escape. Yep. Makes sense. No escaping. And then yellow is going to be this one. Will we meet at the river's end? Do you miss me? All very mysterious. All very mysterious. The sigils are going to be important for sure. For sure. So with that all being said, a lot of details to appreciate here. What's up, Cthulhu Tentacles? I like it. I like it so far. We're having a good time. It's pretty neat. Pretty neato. Let's go back to... Actually, let's just go ahead and close that one. So for this one... Yeah, this is a mysterious quartz. Is there anything else here? Yeah, prism in the light. Right. What's the inscription mean? So its sigils shine in different colors. Anything else on the source for this feller? Oh, trying to get big. Something slightly different to exit this place, it says. I'm guessing there's nothing on the actual quartz itself. Stacked stones. I don't think so. I think this is just how we got this this color lens. And it's revealed many things. I don't want to use it. I want to use it on everything. The significance of each color being assigned a, you know, a presumed member of the trilogy, of the trio. Once again, is not lost on me. As far as attempts for the puzzle solution. So the hidden files are shown. Oh, security question. Just read that. Is it alligator? There we go. So that was it. So so that's what I should be doing more often, is checking the hint. The hint of the puzzle. Oh, but we're not done. Okay. So there's multiple puzzles. How many eyes are witnessing the bliss of acceptance? Shouldn't have closed that thing. Let's bring that back up. The bliss of acceptance, which would presumably be yellow then. Yeah. We'll say 3 overall. The bliss of acceptance. Unless we're including this guy's. A whole bunch of eyeballs there. Oh, there's hidden fellers. You know what? Let's count all of them. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's try that. It's not it either. Unless that's not what this is. When I think of the, unless that also includes, hold on, yeah, 1, 2. I think I include all that. Unless I'm to not include hers. Because it's kind of like inside the head. Did I double count the middle? I might have. Let's try, that's a good point. Let's try that again. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're right, that's exactly what I did. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, good catch, Cthulhu. Good catch. That was exactly where I went astray. Close the thing. I might have closed the folder. Back to it. So 14. There we go. And then another password. So multiple passwords. Thank you for pointing that out, Cthulhu. That was exactly it. That was exactly it. How did wrath manifest around the person on the boat? Mural. Let's do the wrathful color. The person on the boat. I mean, it burned. Burned him. Unless it's saying it manifested as fire. Yeah. Not done yet. Who is the dead man on the boat? It's out of place. It's not part of the puzzle. You know who they're talking about. I would assume Walleye. Ooh, the cave has been beaten. So saith the game's achievements and spooky shit. Duage. Safer. What does it all mean? You shouldn't be here. Oh shit. Spooky times engage. Oh shit. Do you wish to forget? Guilt isn't. Oh, you shouldn't be. Oh. I like it. Oh shit. Blue screen. Or purple screen, rather. Alright. PLBS. I'm guessing that's a Polybus reference. The any key. My keyboard doesn't have an any key. Which one is it? The sweaters. Alerto, alerto. So we could go back to halibut, but recover password. What's my favorite dinosaur? I don't know. So we can't recover that one. No recover password option for that one. So let's go back into halibut then. Good to know. Keep that in the old memory banko. Favorite dinosaur. Keep that on the DL. So a couple new things. New chronolog entry. So what was all that then? Multiple choice question. We'll presume it's got to be my uncle's. Well, that's the thing. The question then is, who are we as the protagonist, as Guppy? Are we the daughter of, well, I guess, yeah. who is our uncle in that instance? Is our uncle Halibut, or is our uncle Walleye, or was our father Walleye, and our uncle kind of took over, or at least was involved in her family after his passing? We'll say my father's death. I think that's kind of what we're intuiting. If I knew who was burning up before the computer crashed, right? Who would want my uncle to play a game that made him remember such a thing? It feels so cruel. Didn't get to talk to my dad, but we had plenty of pictures of him. Right, because he would have been presumably very young when he passed. Did Desktop Explorer crash the computer? After changing the background, filling it with alerts, all that spooky shit. Tread carefully. If any of my computer files get deleted or corrupted, you lose whatever I have left of my uncle. We didn't see what I saw. Pretty fucked up, she says. He or she says. I think it's a presumed she. Can't run in here whenever I want, only when I'm prompted to do so. Alright. And I can't remember if this one's dated. Oh yeah, it is dated, yeah. Alright, so this is, the next day over. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Entrance.amp. The Podium Chambers. Now we've gone from the cave onto the temple. We're plopping right along here. I'm guessing we still have the same programs. We still have that color lens. Alright. A tall stone gate at the entrance of some sort of temple. Alright, so our senses have guided us away from danger so far. Need more than your intuition to continue, they say. The Cave Fortuna. That was the name of the cave earlier. This has a new place called Shai Halud. Alright. And it changes our background. Check that out. Nice. All very mysterious. The color hue does catch my eye. Okay, so I thought I saw the glyph at first. I can make it bigger. It's just the fact that it has a kind of reddish hue made me wonder. Nothing off the top of my head here. Let's continue. Let us proceed. Path 1, path 2, path 3. 3 Egyptian gods. At the Podium Chamber. Let's check the note real quick. This had been from our uncle. We're filling out the entries slowly but surely. From Uncle Hal. Found any files or settings to access the other users? My only guess right now is that Desktop Explorer has something to do with all this. It's a strangely lucid thing for him to have said. Now this would have been, right, October of 98, so that was before things really started. Actually, no, I guess this was when things started to become more challenging for him. So as our uncle went through all this, he did indeed unlock color lens, just like we did. So we went through the same steps we did, through the cave as we did. But on the next OS manual, the color lens comes pre-installed. Is Desktop Explorer hiding things? Maybe it'll let me access the other profiles. Some of the in-game text resembles what I've been writing in my journal. The puzzle even has an Egyptian mural. Maybe I'm just overthinking things. Like that detail. Very good. Chamber. There's a scarab podium. Cool. Let's see what we got. 3 paths to exit, each protected by a stone guardian. Okay. Eye overseas. Eye in the sky. We must choose wisely. Dog-headed man. Anubis. Okay. Fear of the unknown. Hoth. The stone gaze reminder of your weakness to succumb to madness. And a falcon, Ra, reminder of the frailty of the human body. A podium with a metal plate on top, a scarab depicted on it with 3 uniquely shaped holes. I'm guessing we have to solve all 3 puzzles, or all 3 paths. We'll start with Anubis. Now, however, wouldn't it be convenient if the password was Anubis? The Eye of Horus has recorded your path decision. Well, fear of the unknown, we're embracing it. Words from beyond the veil. I've seen recall Anubis being the god of... I don't know if he was like the god of death or just a god of death. Or maybe like the god that like helped you usher into the afterlife. I can't exactly remember. My Egyptian mythology is pretty loosey-goosey. Keep that image open. We might need other colors in a moment here. You immediately feel lighter. Yeah, because he would like weigh your sins. He would like weigh like, you know, the decisions you made in life as a way to determine like what your afterlife fate was going to be. If you were good, you would have a light consciousness and you would go do good things. And if you had weighty decisions that were bad, then you would go to the bad place. Spiritual harmony and eternal despair. There's a room surrounded by religious imagery. In the center rests a scale with coins on the plates. There's an engraved heart in the other one. Oh no, I'm sorry, this heart and the feather, right. They're tilted to the left, so the coins with the engraved heart are heavier. A familiar sigil engraved on it. It does, so that means... Bust out. Color lens. Yeller. We need a... If we were to make the feather heavier, and our heart lighter, we were to add another 50 kilobytes, at least, presumably into this folder. And there are ways to do that. Some pretty easy ways to do this. That's actually a cool detail. Oh, I was gonna like copy and paste the folder, but that works too. Now the feather is lighter. I'm sorry, it's heavier than our heart. Our heart and our coinsies. Kind of a cool touch. Alright, so... Was that all it took? It was tilted to the right. I can see it thusly. Actually, hold on. Let's bring up the color again. And the color of the direction was colored red. I wonder if that's significant at all. No, it's not. Okay. A heart coin and feather coin. Cool. No other obvious interactions there. That's gotten us closer to sussing out what's going on here, but it has not gotten us closer to the actual password. Not this. Learn to reveal the secrets of the moon sigil. Right. There we go. Is there anything else? Words from beyond. Or if that face is significant. That creature is significant at all. I go up again. Thing jumps out there. Scare podium. That's gonna be once you solve all three, probably. Still oh no, never mind. It shows it unlocked. It shows the lock icon, but it's unlocked, so we're good there. Religious imagery. It's a coin with an engraved heart. I wonder if I can like click this guy at all. Oh, I do see it's a little monkey fella. Maybe it has to be balanced. Maybe it has to be balanced. Maybe it needs to be even Steven. When I double clicked this guy, it kind of phased out a little bit and increased the file size of this one a whole bunch. Let's do this. Let's have it weighed back. Let's do what we were wanting to do originally. Let's pay more attention, by the way, to how much it's increasing and decreasing, because I think like going like adding more and more and more isn't necessarily going to get us any closer. So each of the... Actually, I can just do this. These are 90 kilobytes. And these are 120. So what's the multiple of 120 that is also a multiple of 90? It goes 120, 240, 360. 360 is a multiple of 90. So let's get one more of these guys. And then 2 more of these guys. And now it's even. Balance frees me from the jaws of Amit. That's probably it. That's probably it. Scales are balanced. So it was less about making our heart lighter. Yeah, lighter than the feather. It's about establishing balance. Very nice, very nice. Close these guys. Just to confirm. There it is. I thought you would have cleared this one quicker, though. Everything okay? Pizarro, come on, come on. Ease off, buddy. I'm trying my best. It is getting kind of late, so I'm probably not going to go, like, crazy late, obviously, but we'll do a little bit more. Never forget this, though. Also, this was in between some of the previous entries. Actually, so this would have been well before... We kind of noted that his deterioration really started to get bad around, like, mid-October of 1998. So this was before things got really bad, I think. I'm gonna get little Guppy a stuffed animal at the zoo. Let her choose what she wanted. I'm gonna get her have her get a giant bass plushie. You know, I was trying to influence her. Which one did she pick? Her favorite dinosaur, the Stegosaurus. There it is. There it is. Similar connection to Maxine. Maybe that's the presumed late wife. Thing between tough girls. Or maybe I say late wife. Maybe she's not. Maybe she's not gone. But Stegosaurus' favorite dinosaur. Keeping that in the old brain palace. Unjure.amp. All right. Dark vines. Nice and spooky. Left wall. Also spooky. Have we seen these carvings? We sure have. Elefas. The key. The cave entrance. And a spooky face. And I can't quite see what that is. Let's see what it says. An opening in the floor, a set of downward stairs. Walls reverberating with a spiritual approval of some kind. Okay. A slightly... Oh, I thought it said floored floor. No, flooded floor. Religious scriptures around the walls are partially covered with vines. Large sculpture of a crocodile's head. The room is dark, but you clearly see multiple unlit torches. Something inside the crocodile's jaws, but opening by force proves futile. You say, abracadabra. Nothing. There is power in words, though. Scanning the room again, you start to remember something that could work. Perhaps a different magic word might do the trick. Do not be afraid to modify files such as this one. So, we'll need to modify this one eventually. Something inside the crocodile's jaws. Right. I see the vines wrapped around his face. Let's bust out Old Faithful. I reflexively hit the Windows key on my computer, on my keyboard, thinking that would do something. I'm gonna guess that the color lens probably only really comes into play when there's a glyph to kind of nudge us into using it, but, you know, I'll bite. I think the yellow is, yeah, not necessarily that indicative. So, there was a name on... Let me think about this. Was there a name on the key? I want to say there was. I want to say there was a name on the key. Right. And that was much later. Let's go back a ways. Do some backtracking. Locked jaw. Let's do some backtracking, because... Back in the cave... I want to say this was the cave's mouth. And what was the name? Fortuna? Can you see if that's the text there? It's really hard to say. There's 1, 2, 6 is the thing. Out of curiosity, puzzle 1, this one, puzzle 2, was that the one with the elephant? Yes, it was. Because that was this guy. This was puzzle 2. So that's indications of the chapters. So we're looking for something in puzzle 1. Stalactites, maybe? Or stalagmites, rather? That's when we were stuck. The long scroll. Ah, okay, well, let's try that then. I'm actually going to make a new window and keep that open. Did I spell it right? It's not that. I do kind of see it, though. But I think that's just to nudge us into knowing, then, what these indicate. Like, the password for this chapter was this, the password for this chapter was this. And this is still puzzle... Hold on. So they're not numbered here. Come on. Puzzle 6. This one. And the password for that one. What was the password for this? In the dark. So the floating face, heightened senses. Grave warning. Cassandra was that one. I'm gonna guess that's probably not it either. That's not it. But this is indicative of this just being kind of a like a Rosetta Stone of sorts of solutions. There's no other walls, are there? Nope, there's no other walls. And no hidden files. Oh, whoops. I'm doing it wrong. I shouldn't be typing in the password there. I should be typing it in here. So in that case, try what I tried first. And just save. Save. Words echo strongly. Nothing changes. Hurried footsteps come from not far behind. They're partially covered with vines, and a large sculpture of a crocodile head rests in the nearest wall. On the torches. Huh. Hurried footsteps is a little bit unusual. That's, of course, nudging us into saying, check behind you. Different magic word might do the trick. I don't want to just try random ones. But yeah, I'm curious about these passwords that are a little bit more obscured. Try Cassandra with a K. Pronunciation of the word is finished with your throat closing up. The echo of your voice is extremely uncomforting. Discomforts. Whole body heats up and your vision clouded by hot tears. Gasping for air, you try to find someone or something convulsing in a pain similar to yours right now. Start to scream, but everything fades away as instantly as the echo finally subsides. You shouldn't try that again. Religious scriptures around the walls. Partially covered with vine. Okay, that's the same. Don't try that word, or don't try a random word again. I'm not trying random words, I'm trying different passwords. Of course, that was the thing. We were like, the password we experienced that we said was the chapter that was where we learned a little bit more about Walleye, and he of course presumed died in a fire. So the experience we felt was something akin to burning. Let's go for the key one. Let's go for the key one because we're talking about opening something. A key opens things. Maybe that's the thing we should focus on. The key was Portinus. Let's try that. So I'm not taking random stabs. I'm trying to be deliberate about this. The whole room shakes. The short commotion which shows you being on the right path at least. Flower marks on the wall seem to have destroyed a specific image. Could the correct word be related to it? Destroyed a specific image. I mean, I was thinking this. The correct word be related to it. Nothing else pops up. And the image itself is not different, right? The image itself is unchanged. And what do we say the password was for the first one? Inanna. Yeah, we tried that earlier. Back up to puzzle 1. Now it could be the stalactite one. Or the stalagmite one. It could be that. Let's try that one next, actually. And the stalactites was... Let's see, heightened senses. That'd be an image. Try this one then. What's that? Did I close the thing? From beyond. I think I closed it, yeah. Source code. And then Rubicon. And save. Short commotion means you're on the right path. Still not quite anything new necessarily. We tried the cave entrance one. Well, I say cave entrance. Actually, really, it was just chapter 8 or puzzle 8, which was a dead end. Stalactite formation. I'm from the entrance. The stalactite formation was important there. I don't want to just try every single password possible. What was the name of the cave? Fortuna? Let's try that real quick. Like I said, I try to avoid just doing stabs. I don't think it was all caps either. Not sure if it's context sensitive. Yelling alone in a corner of an ancient temple. Yeah. It's the same thing as earlier. Because that was the name of the cave. Yeah, I think you could even kind of make out an ICON, so I think Rubicon was the name for that one. Yeah, I'm not going to try that one. Oh, I just noticed this one here. Oh, wait, no, that's for the key. That's for the key, never mind. So it's not like a middle image, necessarily. Look at this, there's like something that evades me. There's something I've not tried yet. Rubicon was not it. Fortunus was not it, although both of those are saying you're on the right general track. Wasn't Inanna. Unless, did I, like, misspell or something? Or maybe it needs to be all caps. If it is context sensitive, or case sensitive. It is case sensitive. I was right the first goddamn time. But it has to be in all caps. Okay, well, I feel a little silly for not having thought of that earlier. It's a little bit disappointing that it's case sensitive when it was, and of course when it was first given to us, it was not in all caps, but we figured it out. So I'm a little bit peeved. It's like, oh man, that was the first one I tried. What the hell? The moment this word leaves your lips, every torch bursts aflame. The water and the vines disappear mysteriously. The jaws crack open, revealing a yellow, lockbox. As you lift it, clear words echo in your mind. Well done, clever child. Use this knowledge to open my lockbox. We have an equation to solve. Out of curiosity. I know. Since it's yellow, it's kind of almost too obvious. Blue, red, nothing. Okay. So, chapter 8, or puzzle 8, elephant 1. K, elephant 5, elephant 1, chapter 4. 3 torch, 3 torch. Oh, I recognize those glyphs. Okay. Question is, where were they? Where were these glyphs? There was 2 of them. Is it left door, right door? Yes. So I'm guessing... Actually... Nah, it doesn't quite look like it. I was thinking maybe that was kind of it, but... These source code stuffs. Now the room has revealed more carvings. New markings inside each one. Let's see if there's anything else in that folder then. Some of the ones, right. Oh, I just noticed the scratch there. That's new. I don't need 2 dark finds. Windows being open, though. Open my lockbox. And presumably the lockbox would then have to be referencing the locked jaw. Unless there's something specifically... Well, yeah, because his mouth is open. Maybe I'm overthinking this. Maybe it's not an equation per se. That's a K and that's an R. Yeah, okay, we're just piecing the letters together. You're right over Cthulhu Tentacles. Yeah, my first thought was like, we have to do some sort of math here. But no, we're just piecing the letters together. So, let's back up a little bit. Puzzle 8. Puzzle 8 and then elephant 1. We need to piece the letters together. Like key 8. And then elephant 1. Maybe it means like the 8th character? And the puzzle and the solution for puzzle 8? And then the first character in the elephant. Or well, and the elephant. Well, what was the password for the elephant? Something like that. Something like that. And the dead end one, I think, was the stalagmites. But this, presumably, is referring to stalagmites. I guess it could be the crocodile, the teethers, but I see this, I think, stalagmites and stalactites. Yeah, what was it for this one? Stalagmite formation. Came from the entrance. Let's go back a ways. Also, we don't necessarily need to do everything, because we might be able to just kind of, like, piece together what the rest of the word is. So let's look elsewhere first. Like, the elephant one is pretty simple. In fact, I think we can probably guess which one it is. Cave, puzzle 1. The elephant would have been, I guess, puzzle 2 then, right? Yeah. So, we can guess that, yeah, that's going to be E. So let's do this. let's do this so that everyone can see what I'm thinking. So it's going to be 2 characters, K, 1, 2, 3, and then a line break. I don't know if the line break is actually significant here. I'll do it though. I'll do it. R. So K, followed by R. So if we're saying this is going to be E, first character of elephant. Like I said, we'll leave that blank for now. 5th character of elephant, or elephas rather. And this is of course assuming a 1-based index, not a 0-based index. So when I see square brackets and numbers, I think 0-based, but I'm pretty sure this means 1-based. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So an H, which already makes me unsure because that's a weird letter to follow a K. Well, let's keep going. This is this is like an Egyptian themed kind of puzzle, and K and H are things that are obviously not unheard of when it comes to like, you know, the Egyptian lore. Next one's E again. I count that wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is a K, yeah. So, yeah, I'm not sure what the key thing means. The torch one. Was there a password on the torch? It says, let's see. Oh, there was. There was. When I used the filter. No, I'm full of shit. No, there wasn't. There wasn't. But there was on the other dude. Unless there's something else to be done here. So I don't think it was the torch though. Let's check the other one. The other image? Yeah, the not the no escape one. Although, actually, I mean, while I'm here, actually, I don't think I really gave this one much of it. Well, no, this one said no escape. That's all that one said. Yeah, it was the spooky one. Where it was all glitchy and spooky and weird. Too much stuff open. Kill the torch one. But well, that's the thing though, like the torch seems significant. You don't think that's it either? Let's close it. Let's close it. Let's go back. Let's go back to puzzle 3. Let's see, yeah, we were here. This is puzzle 1. Yeah, I'm assuming. Yeah, I'm Cthulhu Tentacles. I'm guessing you were probably talking about this one here. Stalagmites, the long scroll. It could be relating to the long scroll. E8, E4. Oh, from the okay, just the current puzzle. I gotcha. So that would be. Leave it open. Yeah, this one here. So yeah, we can look at this in relation to, well, there are torches on the wall is one thing. Sure, that would come in handy at all. Oh, well, I think I might see what you mean, Cthulhu Tentacles. I think I might see what you mean, where we're talking about, so instead of sourcing them out in other parts of the folders, in the Desktop Explorer, maybe we can just suss them out here. The little stalactites and stalagmites, the cave entrance referring to the letters in this password. I think I see what you might mean, Cthulhu Tentacles. That's a good observation. Oh, and the key icon, we should take that literally. I thought that meant like the password from chapter 4. Cthulhu Tentacles says, no, take the key literally. I was definitely going into the weeds. I was definitely getting lost in the weeds. So that's going to be the key for all, literally the key for all this. So for one thing, the 8th character 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's gonna be S. Sekhmet. I already know where this is going. 1, 2, 3, 4. So sure enough, maybe not Sekhmet, but Sekhet, I guess. That should be an M if it was Sekhmet. So S E K. Okay, so yeah, so it's not Sekhmet, but Sekhet, which I'm guessing is another name. 1 T. Alright, so that's correct. Now the torch had to have been actually. Oh, the torch actually could be referring to Cassandra, actually. Because that was the long scroll. I don't think that would be that one, so that would be the Cassandra one. Let's run with that and say, well, of course we already have a representation for S. We'll roll with it for a second. Well, no, SSR wouldn't make sense. But for this one, the last one is U. That's gotta be the one from Rubicon. Three and 3. I mean, let's try it. That seems not right. I don't feel great about these two. I don't think that's correct. But my association I'm making here is the torches being referring to this guy here. Because I think that was the long scroll Iana, which was the password to revealing the secret of this room. Let's try it though. Let's try it. We'll do it in all caps. But not quite. SEKHETSSRU. So yeah, I think I've got the wrong idea with these two. I feel pretty good about the other ones though. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's got to be it. Kind of retracing my steps here. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And T, yeah. So just to kind of break it up again. The question is, what could that one be? It could be the Iana one. If it is, IAN, which is also weird. Feel great about that either. We'll try it. Yeah, it doesn't feel great either. Yeah, that was it, right? IAN. I guess we can't see it here. I check the long scroll. Oh, I was wrong. It's not IN. It was INA. Which is also kind of weird. But I'm willing to try it. That was it. That was the right nudge, Cthulhu Tentacles. You were exactly correct. You were exactly correct. I had gotten lost in the weeds. Not the first time that has happened in a game like this, and it will not be the last either. Inside the yellow lockbox. What do we find? Imagine the possibilities. Gold? Amulets? A map, maybe? Just a note. Can't do anything with it, but interpret its meaning. Obtaining this message is a reward for clearing this temple's path. One man's trash is another man's treasure. A feather? No, it's just a note. Never mind. We'll keep that on our person. Old dogs can learn new tricks. I'm not that old. Maybe a little bit. Anything else to note here? It must be hinting the treasure is hiding elsewhere. Or maybe the treasure were the friends we made along the way. You ever think about that? Also, I wonder when it's time to jump ship to the other profile and check the Stegosaurus profile. Or not Stegosaurus, but check I guess it was called Maxine, I think. Whatever the name was, the password hint was favorite dinosaur. Let's close that. We're done here. Actually, you know what? Let's leave that. The odd chance that it comes up again. Can I save it? Save it. And as Anubis path password. Or lockbox. There we go. Just so I'm able to save it. Create a notepad page. Note page file, rather. So leave that. And then... Anubis has been cleared. Very nice. That's still the same. Well, that's a good detail, though. Very nice. Wait, what's Farsight getting at? Did I pronounce something funny? It wouldn't shock me. I probably pronounced something silly. Next one's just gonna be the name, right? Yep, just the name. One of my favorites, he says. Pay attention and don't fuck up, he says, or else. Like, I'm just wondering, like, what the context was. Like, what summoned such a thing being said. If it was related to something I'd said. Inactivity detected. I'll show you some inactivity. Hall of Mirrors. Let's see what we got. Cloud of smoke to pass this threshold. Or we pass through a cloud of smoke. The scent of incense. Your senses are heavily clouded and you feel dizzy. Is your memory failing you, just like our uncle? How long have you been here? Did you just arrive? Weren't you just about to leave? The room you find yourself in is as puzzling as your thoughts. Countless mirrors cover the walls of a labyrinth in front of you. Walking through it without aid is impossible. Luckily, there are map pieces in one of your pockets. Were they always there? Did you always have pockets? Familiar sigil indeed. Because that's the thing, they were saying how this path is about succumbing to madness. God of madness. Oh, the friends made. Oh, okay, yeah, that's what it was. That's what it was. Some map fragments. Blue, red. Ah, I see where this is going. I see where this is going. There's more to it, of course. Miss her so much, he says, but ultimately she desired to be alone. Looking at the whole picture, I can't help but assume the worst. And this would have been... Oh, this was an early entry. This is the second to last entry. Or second to first entry. I'll just say second entry. That's probably the best way to say it. I wonder if that's referring to... I'm guessing Maxine, the widow of his brother. Got a latch on whatever hope her mom still holds. My only lead right now is very loose, but it's the only thing I've come up with. Or maybe it's referring to Guppy. Max used to go on about the CMAA. Maybe she's fulfilling her dreams of studying art, or at least taking a course there. Maybe she submitted a portfolio or an application. I could track her activity there. Hire a private detective, maybe. Maybe ask around. Oh, the page actually loads even with no internet. So Maxine has perhaps gone astray, and he's been left with Guppy. Class of 95. Cascadia Modern Arts Academy. So no internet means I can't, like, peruse anything from here. The fact this page loads on its own, even, is indicative of the fact that that's a little bit unusual, but can't browse in there. So no internet. Like, I'm seeing if there's anything special. Wishful thinking. Nothing. Okay, well, just good to know. That might be something we end up coming back to. Of course, that's more just telling us about the overarching narrative and less about the puzzle at hand. But something to keep in mind for sure. Hall of Mirrors. Let's take a look with our usual tricks. Blue. Okay. So yeah, this is the first thing that comes to mind. Does this do anything for us? Do I have to move the cursor? That's exactly what I have to do. Now, wasn't there like an internet jump scare game that looked like this? New files added. More map fragments. We're not done yet. Like there was an internet jump scare game that had you like follow like really closely through a really narrow path, and when you get to the really tricky part, they fucking jump scared your ass with like some mutilated bodies or some shit. I'll let it be known there is, I believe, zooming in and out. Oh wait, maybe not. Thought they could like zoom in and out on these. It might be one of these where you start here. I was gonna say, can I like pause and move the window after the fact? Oh shit. Is that allowed? I don't think so. I need some way to move it. Just schmove it. Let's close that guy. So I found something really good in cute animals. I'll check that in a second. I wonder, do we need to like mirror things in the mirror in some way? Can I just shrink the window down? That'd be great. If I could resize the window. Oh wait, what stopped me from just opening the same image multiple times? Let's say the answer is nothing is stopping me. There we go. That's gotta be the kicker. Gotta be the kicker, and if I do my job right, it's also gonna be the dicker. Now, let it be known, I had just invoked a memory of the old times of a game like this, a flash game like this that had you following a very narrow path, and you did a couple rounds of it, and on like the second or third round, it got really tricky. And when you were really having to be fine-tuned with your motions, that's when they hit you with the jump scares. So, I'll acknowledge this right now. If you are not a fan of jump scares, I don't know, I've never played this game before, but if there was ever a time for a game like this to hit us with a self-aware, well, maybe not self-aware, but referential jump scare that harkens back to the olden times, be wary that this is in that same vicinity. Like right around here is where I would expect it. That's actually very cute. What a jump scare, huh? Now he's a little bit corrupted, but that wasn't too spooky. We got it. That's actually very tongue-in-cheek, because I think a lot of us graybeards, when we play this game, we're like, oh fuck, oh shit, oh god, and then it was like, boo, Not too bad. Not too bad, not too bad. So, that's it for the map segment, however, and this is the mirror still. Several glyphs get highlighted. Is it color specific? Nope, it's all blue. Nothing for red. Oh, there is something for yellow. I wonder if the younger brothers was like feeling guilt. Like it was his fault that his brother died. Like if that was going on, perhaps. Oh, right, because it's that glyph, right. And that one, of course, is blue. But nothing for red. Okay. That's all well and good, but that doesn't necessarily jump out anything else. And there's sigil, right. Anything here? Source. Learn to reveal the secrets of the water sigil. That's correct. But there's no indication of where to go from there. Now, granted, there's a way to like rearrange these characters in some way. Oh shit, there you go. Farsight says, I know the one, Alex, I know the one. Farsight, by the way, did see this at a very important image. Let's see what the important image is. He said, here's the important image. Actually, I'll see it this way. Farsight hit us with the knowledge and wisdom, saying, Alex, I have something that will aid you in your quest. There it is. This is aiding me in my quest. I feel wiser and maybe even stronger. I'm like, that's a very cute dog, but the arms, like, Are they supposed to have elbows that jut out like that, man? It's like they got little pawsy, like, but like having like broad shoulders like that. Like, I'm gonna just assume this is a photoshopped image and or AI generated, but that's an important image, all right. We're not kidding. I feel brighter and smarter and panicularly enhanced just thinking about it. Game to recapture. Nothing else in the Hall of Mirrors jumps out there. Nothing else happens here either. See if there's anything else. It's not like these sigils are like Greek alphabet letters or anything. Trying to find what significance there is. It's not lost to me that there is 2 hourglasses here, and the one we're looking for is called Hourglass. The map fragments are gone. Was there anything else about the map? Yeah, map pieces, were they always there? Countless mirrors. So we traversed the labyrinth and found our way here. That's the gist. Is there anything else? And do I need to go back to the cave? Look through something. Possible. There's still these runes. Rename it. But I don't think those runes match anything I can see here. Even if, like, you piece together things that are highlighted. I don't think I'm seeing it, admittedly. Yeah. That one, like, kinda almost, but nah. Unless you could, like, move it. I think I'm grasping at straws. That doesn't feel right. Close those. Nothing else back in the chamber. And certainly nothing on the podium, that is, or the chamber. It's entirely possible there is indeed something else back in the previous path. Also, let's remember that we do have another account to try now. I saved that file, by the way. I saved that file that had the previous password because I was wanting to hang on to that. We do have the ability to get into Maximus, which is probably Maxine. Is that he spelled Stegosaurus? It is... Here we go. Stegosaurus. Stegomysaurus O. Oh, herp derp. Can I copy paste? Yes, you can. Oh, we're not done. Ooh. C? Oh, what's it standing for? Crap, I can't remember. Let's log back in. Let's log back in, because I can't remember. Take the chronolog. And it'd be... this one. Because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe... Oh, so it's Cascadia. And, yeah, because I made the joke about Canadia. Cascadia. Yeah, at first I was thinking, okay, we have what we need to get into the other person's account, but maybe there's still other secrets we get to find. Oh, cover password. That being said, I mean, I appreciate... Fuck. Yeah, I think for that we need either the internet or some other entry. So we do not... we are indeed lacking something. We are indeed lacking something to fully get into her profile. I respect the fact that there are multiple security questions, like password recovery questions. I can think of maybe one service that I've ever seen where like a password hint or like a password, nudge was the thing you could request in certain circumstances. I can think of one service ever that had you answer multiple questions before they, gave you the hint or the password, what have you. So in like circa, if this was like, 1998 or something like that, this was quite ahead of its time as far as getting you kind of into that level of like relative security, relative internet security, or just computer security. So yeah, so we're still missing something for sure. Yeah, what is her middle name? I don't think we've seen anything that tells us what it is. We know her name is Maxine. We know her name is Maxine, and we also know... Oops. Oh, no, like, there it is. That... Well, I guess that's the thing. We don't know Guppy's name. We don't know Guppy's name. We actually don't know anyone's last name, for that matter. I called her Max. Is there anything else I missed? Gonna guess her middle name's not Guppy. As funny as that would be. I'm looking to see... There we go. And now, for anything... So we would need something that was a little bit more detailed. Have the full name to include the middle name especially. Now, of course, we do have some other documents, including family photos. There's the big catch. Back in April of 98. That's presumably the older brother before he passed. Maybe not. Anglo Trio. April 19th of 97. I don't know when the fire was. And that's, if I had to guess, that's probably Maxine. Nothing there. CFB adoption form. So maybe, yeah, maybe illegally adopted, who we now know as Guppy. Diploma. Probably Guppy's diploma. Junior, right? Yeah, so that wouldn't be like a college diploma, obviously. Yo, what's up, Whale? I mean, pretty much, yeah. It was a simpler and weirder time. Medical scans, and these would be Uncle Hal's scans. Almost assuredly. And that's because that's the condition he was been suffering from. Uses insurance. And again, it's all blurry enough where you can't really make out any details. So I think the idea is we're not supposed to be able to know probably what her middle name is. It's not like we saw it and we would have missed it. I think the idea is that, yes, that's not a personal failing. So it still begs the question of the stuff that we can see here probably should be enough to let us solve the puzzle. The one thing if we had to, like, go to a different account and kind of go from there. There's clearly significance for the pieces that are highlighted. And no, I was just reminded we do have Sketchy. So if we need to like recreate those glyph halves, highlight things and do something with them, wouldn't be opposed to it. It's even worse now. Well, I mean, it was lawless, but it was, like the old internet, but it was also much more of a niche thing. If you were an internet user in the 90s, you were in a relative minority. So it was lawless insofar as there were less protocols and security. Viruses were, more like low grade and not as sophisticated, but also like, it was just the Wild West. Whereas nowadays, there's like the stakes are higher. The stakes are higher and the bad actors are more entrenched. And things are more unbalanced, and you know, the internet as a commodity, internet access as a commodity is more of a have and have nots thing. So I don't know. I think I know what Will is saying, but I agree with Farsight where in some ways the lawlessness has just shifted, I suppose. Hourglass. The name is Hourglass. Is there any mention of an hourglass in the text? Vladimir has a familiar sigil. Right, that one. And once again, if we go check the yellow one, we see a very different kind of depiction. What's he holding? He's holding something with some kind of ribbon. Something flowing, like a robe or a piece of fabric. That's presumably the spirit of his brother. That's Hal, that's Wally. I think he's holding something, like a tattered piece of fabric. Nothing else here to tell. Now, it's not lost on me that we're in this chapter. I have Anubis gazes upon us, but I don't think that's necessarily indicative of anything here. We could go backwards. Anything else back in the Anubis stuff? Probably not. One man's trash is another man's treasure. That's something that we're supposed to bring together at the end, I suspect. Anything else here? Yeah. Nothing on the Hall of Mirrors itself, right? Wouldn't think so. Red, yeah, it's like checking every little thing. Bit of a fool's errand. All this really says is, yeah, just acknowledge the fact, whoops, about the water sigil. There's really nothing new there. Really nothing jumps out as needing to modify anything there. Out of curiosity, go back. The properties, no. I can't compress it. I'm gonna have file flattening privileges. Let's get back to the caves then. Any sort of resemblance with, I guess really not just any of these glyphs, but the highlighted sections. I don't know. The only thing that kind of could be significant, I suppose, looking at images specifically. No escape, no escape, no escape. That's old news. We know about that one. And the key, nothing on the key. The left door, right door. It says rename it. I think that's just to tell us we have to rename the puzzle. Graving on the key, but it's hard to read. Is it where you have to like rename something? No, I mean we have to rename something later on, obviously. Here to say my name. The rename it thing being pointed out is a little bit unusual. Is that a thought? Go back, actually. There's something that just jumped to mind. Nah, no, that wouldn't be it. Say my name, yeah. So, I don't think it's gonna be anything lurking back, tying back to the caves. Now, the Anubis puzzle did have stuff ties back to the caves. That's why I'm wondering if that's significant, but that's it. Yeah, we're back to the mural, right. Left door, right door. Let's go back to the big one then, the temple. Mirror, familiar sigil. It's something that's got to be more or less an all-in-one kind of situation. I don't think we have to be rummaging around necessarily. The tentacles. Oh! Cthulhu tentacles. I see what you mean. 5, 2, and 6. Yeah. You're exactly right, Cthulhu tentacles. It did not even occur to me to read these as numbers. That is a good catch. It's a very good catch. Went right in my head. 5, 2, and 6. So maybe that is indeed referencing back to chapter numbers of in the cave, that is. 5, 2, and 6. I mean, unless that's the password. And in some way, 65 or 526. Seems like the passwords aren't usually numbers. Let's write it down. Well, again, I don't know like what order necessarily. If it's a matter of the numbers, you know, in it. If it's like from right to left or from left to right, or if the placement is significant in some way. Oh, and there's this one down here too, yeah. It's 5, 2, 6, 7. Oh, 6, 7. Oh. Yeah, you're right. There's that last one down there, so it's 4 numbers. And that still highlights, although that's probably to like nudge us into using the blue filter. There's probably nothing new there. Let's just try it. Let's just try it in the order we see it. That was it. That was it. That was all it was for the password. I was in my mind, I was like, this game seems like it's not really wanting to ever do numbers as like file passwords for things. And yet, that was it. Overthinking again. Not the first time. Not the first time. I tend, in my mind, I tend to think like, maybe it's because I've been traumatized from other puzzle games where they kind of require you to go into the weeds. And if you try the simple solution, you're just wasting your time. In my mind, it's like, it makes perfect sense to assume that I have to like be digging deep and not even, not even consider what might be a simpler solution. But if anything else, this game is demonstrating time and time again that yes, overthinking is a great speed bump, a great way to overdo it. Also, one thing I love is that when it gets into the weird hours, you see how the text turns red down there? Isn't that just great? Like the game very subtly saying, Alex, dude, bro, what are you doing being awake at this hour? It's a school night. What the fuck is wrong with you? You weird, short little dingus. Baby girl, what is you doing? So, this is yet another case of I'm having a fun time with this game. This is very cool. However, it is quite late. Pizarro, you've been a great homie, but we do need to wrap it up for the night. Cool, really cool little game, and I have a sneaking suspicion we are nowhere even close to being done with this game. I have a sneaking suspicion there's plenty more to be done with this game. So, as much as I'm enjoying myself, I'm assuming start game means continue. Yeah, there we go. So we can pick up where we left off if we wish to. But yes, when I see the red text on the clock, and again, it's not lost to me what the developers are doing. They're saying, or not you specifically, but just in general, gamer, nameless gamer, you were staying up too late, and perhaps it is not wise to do so. I'd be very curious if if the time ticking over to 2 a.m. being red, if it does that specifically on like weekdays, school night, work night, versus like a Saturday night, maybe it ticks over like that if it's like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. But let's be real, if you're staying up past 2 on a regular basis, you're already a bit of a goblin degenerate anyway, so if you're a regular night owl like I am, then society has deemed you unfit. You should be banished to the dungeons anyway, so maybe it's for the best. But a really cool game, and I am impressed with the variety of the kinds of puzzles they have you solve. And like I said, it's a reminder to myself. To, when you're playing a game like this, don't go off into the weeds. Don't assume it requires a multi-step process, because I think of games like Secret World Legends was a butt kicker of a puzzle game, where some of those puzzles, I mean, man, the puzzles where you had to manually decode Morse code, you had to like manually like bust out your music theory knowledge from like middle school or high school, and like try to piece together significant tones that were being played to you in certain times or key signatures, and like all that shit like that. It was like, that game was great, of course, and I enjoyed my time with it, but also, I have to remind myself, not all puzzle games require that level of depth. And usually if I was coming up short in that game, it was because I hadn't gone deep enough. So reminding that, like, not all puzzle games require that level of bullshit. Sometimes the simpler solution is what you need to go for. And I need to like be more mindful of that. And I need to be more mindful of like service level stuff and not always trying to like dig deep. And so I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Thank you again to Cthulhu Tentacles. Give me little nudges as they were figuring things out and trying to finding things that were going over my head. So I appreciate giving little nudges, and I also appreciate like not like being super hardcore on the backseating, because we've all seen how that goes, right? We all know that when the streamer's trying to do a puzzle game or a single player thing, and someone has either played the game or has figured it out and wants to nudge the streamer, but maybe the nudging is too hard. We all know that sometimes that can be heavy-handed. So Cthulhu Tentacles, I appreciate your consideration and not giving little nudges and little hints, but not being like, Alex, you dumbass, it's this. And so I appreciate your kindness. You're being very patient, and that is very much appreciated. And Timmy, I appreciate you lurking in and chilling with us as well. I know it's getting late. Timmy's a fellow late night fella as well. He's a fellow night owl as well. Us fellow late night degens. We gotta stick together out here. Well, the Desktop Explorers, very cool little game. Big thanks to the nice folks over at Pop Agenda, who were kind enough to hook us up with a review key for the game so I could try it out. And yeah, would definitely like to come back to this one again. Once again.